I'm trying to be the first person to be with 1,000 guys in 24 hours.
From sleeping with 100 men in 24 hours to sleeping with 1,014 men in 24 hours, and now making millions all across the internet, and then being pregnant. Ladies and gentlemen, if you did not already know who I'm talking about Lily Phillips. I'm trying to do that challenge where I would post one video a day for the rest of the year, and I was looking into things to react to, and then when I saw her story, my jaw freaking dropped. When I saw, I was like, girl. I did a little deep dive into her background to kind of see, because sometimes the way that somebody was brought up or the trauma that they went through as a kid do kind of affect how they act later on in life. In this video, we're going to break down who is Lily Phillips, how she got there, and what does her story say about the future of online culture. Lily Phillips was actually born in Derbyshire, England. She grew up in what we would consider to be a stable household. When I was doing the little deep dive into her story, I couldn't really find too much about her parents because her parents are kind of really private. Her parents own a very successful cleaning business, which means Lily wasn't really poor because she was kind of a upper middle class. On the surface, it was a pretty normal upbringing. Lily wasn't really forced into the adult industry out of, financial desperation. No, she actually chose to be in that industry. She went to university to study nutrition, but later on, Lily did drop out because that wasn't where she found her fulfillment. Instead, Lily went and studied digital content creation. Lily was really exposed to pornography at a very, very young age, at 11 years old. Let's watch this clip where she talks about that.
Your generation, Gen Z, has grown up with pornography being easily available on smartphones. How do you think that has influenced you?
Honestly, I probably watched pornography first when I was maybe 11. And so I've always known about it. I've always knew it was a thing. And I always thought it was very normal to watch. And I personally don't think pornography is a bad thing in moderation. I just think it's when younger adults have a lot of access to it, that's when it does become a problem.
But if you started watching it at 11,
Yeah.
I mean, that is so young.
Yeah.
Can you describe how it has influenced you and your brain?
We live in a world where people normalize pornography. We glorify it on the internet, make it seem like it's empowering as young women to just automatically just throw ourselves into pornography. It truly breaks my heart because at 11 years old, you should not be sitting here watching porn. At 11 years old, when I was in Haiti, back in Haiti, I was literally outside playing, touching grass. For me to actually hear her saying that she started watching porn at 11-year-old, that breaks my heart because we all over here know that these movies, these adult movies, doesn't really give a representation of what sex actually is. And 9 times out of 10, these movies are not even real. So imagine an 11 years old starting to feed herself into this type of content at such an early age. That's all she knows. And that's her point of view of relationship. That's her point of view of sex. And she grew up, and you never know what type of pornography she was watching. So you don't know what she grew up feeding herself and thinking that she deserves. And we all know at that age, you don't really know nothing about sex. You don't really know nothing about anything. You're just literally learning. This is your first time learning about everything. And imagine this is what she learned. And that's why she's doing as she is now. That's why you don't go ahead and judge somebody because you don't know their background. You don't know what make them act the way that they act. Until you really know, you can't really judge. So from what we just heard, we kind of see a little bit of where she got what she did and why she thinks she deserves what she's doing to herself because that's all she knows. We know that the sex that's in those movies are only made for entertainment, so they are not really what sex is really like. The real world intimacy is not really like that.
Sex.
You know what? It actually made me really sex confident and learn a lot of things. I mean, that's mostly how I learned through pornography. And I do think it has a positive effect on me, just in terms of like understanding things a little bit more.
Right. But as we know, what we see in pornography online can be extreme. Is not normal.
It depends what type of pornography you're watching. That's what I would say.
Okay. When you look back and reflect on the fact that you had access to this pornography and were looking at it from the age of 11,
That's why parents, you need to really watch your kids closely, because you never know what they're watching in the phone. You never know what's going on. You never know none of that until you check on them. And I understand some parents are really busy working 2 to 3 jobs. I work one job overnight, so when I come back, it's kind of harder for me to, pay attention around because I'd be so tired. But at the same time, I still do it because at the end of the day, I need to supervise my kids because things like that can actually happen. And imagine learning about intimacy and porn. Like this can be extremely dangerous because most of the times, I'll say 99% of the times, when you see a movie, an adult movie, it's really performative. It's not really what sex really is.
and not just you, any Gen Z who's got a smartphone, does that suggest to you that maybe your generation has been let down by politicians or the tech companies or even parents?
I think it's hard because sex is a part of life, and I don't.
But
think
not
it
when
sh-
you're 11.
But I think you should be learning from it from that age. I do believe that.
No, I don't believe that you should start learning sex at 11 years old from porn. I don't believe that. That's just crap. And like I said earlier, keep that in mind. Everything that she knows, she normalized it because she started learning it at a very young age in porn. She's been watching it for so long that this is what she knows. This is what's normal to her. But it's not normal. It's not a normal thing for an 11-year-old to have a phone and to be watching porn to the point that you're learning from porn. That's why there is classes at a certain age in school that teach about, parts and everything like that, intimacy at a certain age. So that should be left to the parents to kind of like talk about it, touch onto the subject a little bit. And I do want to touch on that a little bit later. I think it's really, really, really important for parents to actually have some type of discussion around sex with their kids at a certain age for them to understand a little bit more about sex. Because if you don't have that conversation with them, it don't really have to be vulgar. They will go and look for it somewhere else, because kids can be very, 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 very curious. They want to know.
Because that's when you start to think about things like that.
But learning
Maybe not
via
learning.
pornography?
Yeah, maybe not learning from pornography, but I do think understanding it more from that age would be helpful.
Is there a direct link between you watching pornography as you grew up and the decisions you've made to do what you do now?
I think maybe. I mean, I don't know a life without pornography, so maybe.
Billie Eilish is the same age as you. She says she started watching porn.
This is why early on the video I said you don't never know why she acted the way she act until you kind of have a little background story on how she grew up. Because 9 times out of 10, I'm telling you, how somebody grew up determines how they're gonna act later on in life. Not all the time. And I like how the interviewer is really, really touching on the subject. She's not really trying to shame, or she's not really trying to bring her down. She's really trying to understand and let her see clearer. But she's just like, nah, she's not having it. She's not having it because she's already set her mind. That's why when she said maybe, you know what I mean? She said maybe, and she don't really know a life without pornography. So you would never know what she would actually choose to do if she wasn't exposed to it at such an early age.
Pornography at 11. You've just
really?
told us the same age. She says it destroyed her brain. Could it have destroyed yours?
I think it really depends on how frequent you're watching it. I see people nowadays who watch too much too soon and they become very desensitized to it, and that means then they have to watch more and more extreme stuff. I personally wasn't like that. I didn't watch it often enough at all. So I don't think it's destroyed me personally.
Okay, it don't matter how much you watch porn as an 11-year-old, it will destroy your brain. It don't matter how much you watch it as an 11-year-old, it will destroy your brain. Lily did not really blow up overnight. She started on Instagram with photos, lifestyle, cute shots, and then she gradually became more revealing. And then later on, she chose to start an OnlyFans. This is when everything went downhill. Lily's willingness to push limits really set her apart. While all the other creators was like in a safe zone, relaxing, posting Lily was ready to push the limits to be in the spotlight. Lily started really blowing up and making a lot of money. She was already making millions in months, but money wasn't Lily's only motivation. Lily had a hunger to be seen, to stand out, to keep being one step ahead. And because she had that hunger to really be seen and to be one step ahead, one day in 2024, Lily decided to say this.
I'm Lily Phillips, and today I'm getting ran through by 100 guys.
Yes, you heard it right. Lily announced that she was going to sleep with 100 men in one day, and she actually did. She even filmed it into a documentary and called it "I Slept with 100 Men in a Day." Some people say she was a legend. Some people say it was empowering. Some people say it was disgusting. And then others say it was dangerous. And then we even hear people say that it was exploitation. But here's the reality. It worked. Everyone was talking about her. News outlet covered it. It blew up on the internet. Everybody was literally making videos after videos after videos about it. Lily's name was everywhere. She knew exactly what she was doing. It definitely worked for her. After doing the 100 men, to be exact, she slept with 101 men. Yes, she added that one more in there. After Lily saw all that attention that she was looking for, all that, spotlight that she was literally looking for, she was like, I'm not gonna stop right here. She continued, and now she had a new challenge where she decided to sleep with 300 men. But before we even get into seeing that clip, let's see the aftermath of her sleeping with 100 men.
I had a yam yam, is that what they're called? A little pastry. And I think I had a sandwich, and that was and then the rest. It's not for the weak, girls, if I'm honest. It was hard.
But
I don't know if I'd recommend it.
why not?
I think if you're a different type of girl, it's very it's kind of like being a prostitute in a sense of it's just a different feeling. I don't know how to explain it,
It's not like just having sex with someone.
Yeah. Just one in, one out, it feels intense.
Like more intense than you thought it might.
Definitely.
Sorry. Okay. It's okay.
I think sometimes feeling so robotic. By the 30th, when we're getting on a bit, I've got a routine of how we're gonna do this, and it just sometimes you'd disassociate and be it's not normal sex at all. In my head right now I can think of 5, 6 guys, 10 guys that I remember, and that's it. But it's just, I don't know, it's just weird, isn't it? If I didn't have the videos, I wouldn't have known I've done 100, But yeah. I think that was kind of the hard part, is conversing with them, and when they'd kind of be we've only had 2 minutes or 3 minutes and you said 5 on the message.
Did someone say that to you?
Yeah. And obviously it just makes me feel so bad.
Do you think you should feel bad about that?
I guess when you've promised something to people who support you, it's kind of hard to let them down.
But it's up to you, right? When you.
Yeah.
Have you even processed, do you think, what's happened?
Not yet.
Got ran through by 101 men, and my eyes are still recovering from all the bodily fluids that went in them.
This is what's called greediness. When you're greedy for attention, this is where it takes you. She slept with 100 men. She felt like she was having all of that spotlight, all of the attention, all over the internet. Suddenly she feels like, damn, that's a lot. You know what? Maybe I should do 300.
If you want to be involved in breaking a world record, on the 15th of December, I plan to be with over 300 guys, and I'm letting all of them put their juices all over me.
That wasn't enough, because she was like, girl, 300? That's nothing. Let me do 1,000.
I'm trying to be the first person to be with 1,000 guys in 24 hours. Now, this isn't an easy task, finding 1,000 people. Girls, please send your husbands and boyfriends my way. I really need them to help break this world record. of being with 1,000 guys in 24 hours.
To really see how she's really fishing for fame and really fishing for attention, every single time she's starting an out-of-pocket videos and out-of-pocket challenge, she usually start with, if you want to participate in breaking the world record of da-da-da, it's because she's trying to stack up. She's trying to be the first to do this. She's trying to be the first to do that. And when you're the first to do this and when you're the first to do that, you get attention, you get fame, you get seen, you get spotlight. So that brings me to say, I feel like, and I'm just saying from my opinion, that's my opinion and my opinion only, and it's nobody else, it's not facts, it's just my opinion. I feel like growing up, she did not have enough attention, because if you're looking back on how her parents had a cleaning business and on how her parents was, probably working a lot. When you have a business, it takes a lot of you to really push out your business and to really make your business work. Working a lot, not really paying too much attention to her, which lead her to have free time to watch adult movies and lead her to want more and more attention. And now it leads to what she's doing now. And now she's getting, she's sleeping with 100, 300, now 1,000. Her past, you would kind of understand where she's coming from when she's seeking all of that attention. It's because of how she was raised. Because money is not everything. Your family might have been really comfortably living. Your family might have been rich. If a kid don't have the love, the correction, and the attention of their family members, like parents, when it comes to mother and father, they grew up to be like this most of the time.
So it is the day after being with 1,113 men. I'm just kind of reminiscing on the day. Honestly, I'm so happy just how it went to plan. That was like my biggest stress. I was so nervous about making sure that like we had all the men and they were going to arrive on time and like they weren't going to wait too long, and just like the logistics of the whole thing, especially because I'd spent so much money and time setting this up.
This video is sad in so many levels. It is so hard for me to judge her and to shame her when I kind of know her past and how early on she was exposed to, sexual videos and sexual activities. I can only feel bad. I can only feel bad. That's all I can feel. I can feel bad, and I can feel that pain because I'm a mother myself. I have a 3-year-old, and imagine, of course, that really got her more backlash, and doctors called it unsafe. Some people were calling it, too much. Some people were calling it, she don't have no self-respect, which later on she make an interview talking about how she views self-respect. Let's watch that.
I don't even know what self-respect means at this point.
Self-respect, where does that come into it?
None of it, mate.
Do you have any?
Out the window.
Okay, so you openly admit you have no self-respect.
I don't even know what self-respect means at this point.
Okay, is that because you've been doing it so long?
No, I think
your
I just
vision's impaired, or
I
you
just don't know the meaning of it.
It's like respecting oneself, one's own worth.
I respect
all of that could,
myself back, I guess, but I still but I still like to get ran through. I respect my
right,
and on wanting to do that and honouring that.
Lily was spotted walking around with sperm on her face. Yes, you heard me right. Sperm on her face.
During a can walk. There's like cars going by. I don't think anyone will notice. I think it looks like a bit like a base mask. Right, cross.
So like I said earlier, she probably has something going on in there, and I feel like she's dead inside in a way. And despite all of that, Lily still would love to have a family. Let's watch a little clip about her saying how she would love to have a family.
I would love a family. I would love to get married. Definitely want kids. But for me, I don't find what I've done shameful. So I don't think, I'm not scared to have kids or anything like that.
The stuff that you were doing,
I'm sleeping with 100 guys in a day.
which is going to live there forever.
Yeah.
You might be okay with it, but do you consider the possibility that your kids might not?
I mean, for me, I will always bring my kids up to learn that sex isn't a shameful act. I'll always bring them up, that is what I've done and that's my choice, it's my body. So no, because I think that is just how I will teach them to be, not so judgmental as people are.
What people don't seem to understand, she's not gonna be shameful about it because it's normal to her. That's all she knows. She grew up learning that this is her base, this is what she knows, and then she's gonna take that legacy and then bring it back to her kids. What she knows, she's gonna teach her kids, and her kids is gonna teach their kids, unless her kids break the chain and know better. But she don't know better, which bring me back to 11-year-old kids out there doing the same thing. If you are a parent, please watch over your kids. Watch over your kids. They need you. At that age, they shouldn't be alone watching anything that they want, because this is a crucial age where they learn everything, and everything that they see they want to do, because they are very, very, very curious and want to know, what is that? What can I do? Can I do this? How does this feel? At a point, it becomes normal to them because that's all they know. Lily went a little deeper into talking on how if she have kids, which she plans to do or she wants to do, she would not drive her kids to school. She would not pick them up from school. That shows you right there that she kind of know what she's doing is wrong, but it's so normal to her that she's like, okay, fuck it.
I don't want to pick my kids up from school. I do as much to protect my kids as possible.
But do you realise that the things you're doing now, you won't be able to protect them?
I mean, when I have kids, the thing is though, like I said, I'm going to do what I want now. I'm not going to live for the kids I haven't had yet, and the life that I haven't lived. So I'll do what I want now, but obviously I've put like plans in place, have nannies for my kids. I don't want to pick my kids up from school, so they're...
Why? Because of this?
Yeah, I don't...
Okay, so that's interesting. You actually thought about stuff like that?
Yeah, like getting nannies to pick them up.
Lily announced to be pregnant not too long ago.
It's official.
But then later on, we find out that she only did it for a role play video, so she was not really pregnant for real.
What's good with that? I thought you were pregnant.
I did it for a video. Like a fake pregnancy for a video. You know how you do role play and a pregnant woman? It's just a role play video.
She shows us what happened when generation grows on porn, social media, and the chase of fame. She's proved that in today's world, attention is money. But she also proved that the cost is heavy on mental health, on relationships, and how young people see themselves and sex. Lily's story is really wild, but it's also a mirror of today's society. That's what's happening now. Kids are growing up, looking at what's going on online, and then wanting to do it, and then lose themselves. The sad truth is, Lily sometimes feel lonely.
I'm sat here on a Sunday. I am feeling a little bit more lonely. My friends have all got boyfriends, and I'm like, I see a comment and people are like, God, no one's ever going to marry you or something like that. And that can definitely make me feel a little bit like, oh God, have I chose the wrong career?
Whether you love or hate her, her story makes us ask some uncomfortable questions about fame, money, and how people will go and how far somebody will go for attention. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This was a heavy subject to speak on, because the way that I looked at the situation, I didn't look at the situation automatically to go and judge her. I looked at the situation in a point of view of, I feel bad for her. Now that I know what I know, I kind of feel bad. And seeing her, there's so many kids that's literally being brought up the same way that she grew up. So drop your thoughts in the comments, because trust me, this is one of those topics where everyone have an opinion. So I want to hear what you think, and I want to hear what your point of view of her, that now that you know all of that. Guys, thank you so much for watching. This was a heavy topic, but we got through it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on my next video. Bye bye. Mwah.